Hi, my name is Brian Diaz. Could you please state your name, the college you graduated from, and the major you majored in?
My name is Miss Gonzalez. The college I graduated from was Dominguez Hills. Uh, I majored in liberal studies or early education.
Okay, and I wanted to ask a couple questions as class of 2026 is graduating soon and moving on to their next chapter in life, whether it be college or joining the workforce. And a lot of students are unsure of what to do next. I'm being one of them. And I wanted to start off with what's a defining moment in your life that shaped who you are today?
So I would say there's two major defining moments that shaped my life, which was my eighth grade math teacher. Before that, I didn't know, I wasn't good at math. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I wasn't even thinking about it. I knew I liked working with children. So um, she she not only encouraged me, but she also opened the idea of becoming a teacher. The second one would be my sister and the things she struggled with and what I witnessed of it.
Okay. And who has had the biggest influence on your life or career? And just so you know, you can keep private things private. It's solely for informative purposes.
So going back to the previous question, I would say one of the first ones was my math teacher. Again, she changed my perspective on school in general. I actually became more focused on school and actually learning the material.
Okay. And how did you handle high pressure situations in college?
The pressures of college. There were a couple things I did, right? My first year, it was a total new environment. I was all on my own. My twin sister wasn't there with me like it was in high school. So I had to create some kind of schedule for myself to not have the pressures of school overwhelm me. And also just taking breaks, taking naps, going to coffee shops, doing the things I love in between the scheduling of workload and studying.
And if you could go back in time, what would advice would you give to your younger self, fresh out of high school?
So I don't know if it's advice or I would have just done things a little differently. I didn't have someone to tell me the route to take in college. I didn't have someone to tell me okay, take this seriously. Even though my parents did encourage getting good grades, but that was the extent of it. But I would advise myself to take, entry exams more seriously. I would advise myself to actually look into the classes that I decided to take the first semester instead of just taking someone's advice and just taking classes that were actually not my cup of tea.
Okay, and what habits or routines have made the biggest difference in your college life or in your career life?
I think one of the biggest things that's helped me through college and life in general is creating a schedule, setting time aside for practice for testing, completing assignments. That way I don't become overwhelmed with having to do things last minute, because knowing myself, last minute things for me don't work out. That way there are moments that I can set aside to enjoy other activities.
What's the most valuable lesson you've learned from someone else?
I think it's from the experiences I've gone through, where I've um, learned things. I think seeing my sister's struggles, I learned about accepting myself and being more comfortable in my own body, like using that as an example to help her out. Um,
Sorry for making the mood gloomy, but I have another question. To make it better, what does a perfect day look like in your life?
I'm gonna be very specific. It's on the beach in Hawaii. Um, it can be by myself, reading a book, listening to music, or it can be with others, family, enjoying the sunset.
Okay, and what legacy do you hope to leave behind?
I guess I just want to be something that someone remembers as okay. I had my struggling moments. Um, there was someone there for me. I didn't have to struggle alone. Um, just showing that kindness is a thing where we don't have to judge someone based on whatever it is that we judge people on, like, race, um, economic background, like those things don't matter.
Okay, and finally, as we close off our educational year of class 2026, what are some final pieces of advice you would give to the upcoming class of 2030?
I would say just really be you, accept who you are. There are people that are gonna, say things left and right. That doesn't make them true. Like, um, academically, I would say don't procrastinate. Set a schedule. Um, find study groups. But then again, find someone that you know will push you to be the better you.
Okay, thank you so much.